Good evening, curious people. Guess who's back? Did you miss me? Or did you not? Welcome to what I would like to say Season 2 for the Spot Review series. Looking at the patch notes, a couple of areas recently got buffed, or let's just say they added Caphra sound drop rates to those areas, and who knows, maybe in the 1 year plus that I revisited some of these areas, maybe something else also changed. So I figured, let me revisit some of these older areas, grind them for just briefly 5 hours each, and make an updated video on those, see what changed, see how profitable they are these days. And that pretty much brings us to today's topic, which is Pila Ku Jail. I decided to start here because Pila Ku Jail and Sulfur Mines are kind of interesting, and let's be honest, besides Akman and Hysteria, the only other areas in Valencia that are kind of interesting to any degree. Maybe Basilisks as well, the season area, but you get the point. We start here, I spent 5 hours, made the money per hour chart, and we will see the comparison. My god, this is a bit awkward, just getting back into the whole YouTube stuff. So this is the chart, this is the conclusion from like 1+ year ago, my original test on this place, where I made 110 million silver per hour average. This was back when I was playing my Guardian, and you can see at the bottom 7.7 thousand trash per hour average. That was my clearing speed back then, and the result. It was also on a blue loot scroll, so yeah, keep that in mind. For today, new season, new spot review, new class. I chose to play the Corsair, that's the class, Succession. I can't say I mastered it, so obviously I could grind faster, but I was quite surprised starting to grind here, seeing how she's really efficient for one-shottable areas. Whether or not I know how to play her efficiently, it doesn't take much brain power to just spam skills and one-shot packs. For gear, all you have to know is that I'm just one-shotting packs. Everything else is just irrelevant, crystals and all of that. I'm literally considering Pila Ku Jail a one-shottable area because no matter what skill I throw, I literally just one-shot packs. For the rotation, whether it's the best one or not, or if it's officially the main rotation or not, this is the kind of place I was doing. The big room inside Pila Ku Jail, very close to where the NPC where you pick up the quest is. So that's the room I used for the rotation. If you don't know anything about Pila Ku Jail whatsoever, let's just say this is where the place is on the map. So it's nothing special. Pila Ku Jail is only a place where people go if they want to grind for that, I believe, either the compass or the map piece, like one of them drops here. That's pretty much it. This area is considered by most people irrelevant or just not worth the time because it's too far out into the desert. And even after this buff with the Caphra stones, I would still like to say that since so many areas besides this one got buffed, maybe this one is still not worth the trip, unless you actually need that one specific piece. So let's take a look at the results. I'm not gonna bore you with the screenshots because I'm pretty sure you don't really care about those. I'm just gonna mention, as always, I stored all of my items in the bank, in one bank, so you can easily visualize them at the end of the experiment, in this case in Valencia, the scrolls in the marketplace because they just don't stack in the bank, and at the end of everything I made this, the Excel spreadsheet, just like always. Not much changed other than the addition of this column where I decided to divide the profit into what makes up the profit. So in our case for today, trash loot only makes up for about 18% of your final profit. I figured this would be just an interesting addition to the data. So let's start from here. Picture, this is the loot from my 5 hours. Again, I'm only spending 5 hours for these areas because I'm literally just revisiting them to give you an update. Just doesn't have to be super accurate, it just has to be updated to see what you more or less should expect these days. I can see a lot of these drop. I'm not sure if they used to have such a high drop rate. I don't think anything else besides the Caphra stones changed, because I had 110 million silver average last time and now it's 172, and roughly 50 to 60 million silver of this difference is just simply Caphra stones. If you look at the Caphra stone breakdown, it's more or less 20 per hour. That's kind of what you should expect for Pila Ku Jail. 20 Caphra stones per hour, again with this clearing speed and a blue loot scroll and a Camassil blessing. Yeah, Caphra stones 18.4 is what I personally averaged from my 5 hours. For a trash per hour, I actually got much faster for whatever reason than my Guardian. If you remember, my Guardian had 7.7 thousand trash per hour average. For this class, for Corsair, maybe because I tried harder for these 5 hours, I don't know, it's 8.9 thousand trash per hour. It could be because now I have full tier for pets. I don't remember if I had full tier for pets last time, but again, for whatever reason, just over the course of the time, with new pets, new class, now I have higher clearing speed. In terms of the breakdown for the individual items, nothing really stands out in my opinion. You get a lot of the claws if you really need these for whatever reason. This is a good place for these. In fact, 21% of your income comes purely from the Black Spirit claws, so that's a thing. Compass pieces I got 5, so technically 1 per hour. 3 Cecil necklaces just spawned. No, I believe I dropped 2 of these, and one of them was from the soiled Cecil thingies. I did spawn a couple of Afuarus for whatever that's worth. They sometimes can give you like a scroll or something, so you know, that's nice to have, but nothing groundbreaking. And again, the only change, in my opinion, from the previous loot table should be just the Caphra stones and maybe the dust. I don't remember if they used to drop dust before, but again, Caphra stones make up for like at least 50 out of the 60 million silver difference. Everything else is probably just a little bit of RNG. So that's my updated conclusion. A little bit underwhelming, but it's honestly to be expected. Just the previous loot table and Caphra stones on top of that. That's literally the only difference for Pila Ku Jail. But hey, even that is enough. It went from 110 million silver to 170. So that's quite a huge jump in profit, and it might actually make this place worth it for people who are mid-tier gear, you know, 245 season or whatever, or if you grind this place for season materials, this actually might be a huge jump for those people. Other than that, this place relies quite a lot on the value pack to make your money. Again, like 20% of your money is trash, everything else is items that you have to sell to the marketplace. These in darker green are taxed with a marketplace, assuming you sell them to the marketplace. These in lighter green are not taxed because you can't really sell them, and I believe this number is wrong. Yeah, it just adds all of these up. It should be close to 80% of your total income comes purely from items you sell to the marketplace, so very reliant on that value pack. This number is probably wrong because I added the golden backpacks and, you know, a couple of these items that you don't actually sell to the marketplace, but very close to 80%. Just, yeah, you need a value pack. That kind of makes sense. And I will just leave it at that. I remember like a year plus ago, I used to look at Sikraya back when I was, let's say, close to the gear score needed to actually finally grind Sikraya efficiently. And I was like, oh my god, I make 200 million silver per hour. This is amazing. This is so much money. And now 1 year later, you make 170 on what I would consider low-end areas, just one-shottable monsters. So I'm curious, Sikraya is also on the list of areas that got buffed with Caphra some drop rates extra, so I can't wait to revisit that one and see what extra stuff I get from it. But next area on the list is Sulfur Mines. I'm already kind of halfway through with that one, so expect it to be done in a couple of days, or out in a couple of days. And who knows, maybe I will do Akman and Histria before I leave Valencia, and then we can visit Sikraya. Regardless, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little update on Pila Ku Jail. Like the video if you enjoyed it, it definitely helps a lot, and all of that. Leave a comment if you wanna share your thoughts about this irrelevant area that nobody seems to grind. I forgot to mention, I didn't see anyone whatsoever in my 5 hours. The place was completely empty, no issues whatsoever. It kind of makes me a little bit regret the fact that I didn't pick the Arsha server, but I'm trying to keep a consistency for this series. Just Blue Loot Scroll, Kamasi Blessing, that's all I'm going to be using, hopefully. I will try my best with that one. I will stop rambling. Again, thank you for watching, I will see you next time in a few days, and until then, bye bye!